As we journey through the stages of life, each chapter presents unique opportunities to grow, evolve, and learn. Childhood teaches us curiosity, youth instills ambition, and adulthood demands responsibility. Yet, old age, a phase often feared or misunderstood, holds within it a profound and unique potential, the opportunity to embrace wisdom, cultivate inner peace, and find unparalleled joy and simplicity. Many view aging as a period of loss, a letting go of vitality, productivity, and perhaps even purpose. But what if it's not about loss at all? What if old age is, instead, an invitation to release the burdens we've accumulated over the years, the regrets, attachments, and fears that weigh us down? With mindfulness and intention, this stage of life can become a powerful chapter of renewal, clarity, and liberation. Imagine this. You've spent decades collecting stories, achievements, possessions, and even scars from life's challenges. These experiences have shaped you into the person you are today, but not all of them continue to serve you. What if the key to happiness now isn't in acquiring more, but in letting go of what no longer brings value or joy? By releasing these weights, you create room for deeper meaning, lighter living, and a profound sense of fulfillment. In this video, we'll explore 9 transformative lessons inspired by Zen and Buddhist teachings, lessons that illuminate the art of letting go. Through timeless stories, relatable examples, and practical wisdom, we'll journey together into the heart of what it means to release regret, material attachment, fear, and more. These lessons aren't about giving up, they're about gaining freedom and finding peace. So, as we step into this exploration, I invite you to pause and reflect. What might you be holding on to that no longer serves you? What might you gain if you let it go? Let's begin this journey toward a lighter, freer, and more meaningful life. Together, we'll uncover how letting go can transform not just old age, but every moment we live. 1. Let go of regret, forgiving yourself. An aging monk once sat quietly by a lake, gazing at the ripples that danced across the water's surface. A traveler, noticing his deep concentration, approached and asked, "What are you watching so intently?" The monk smiled gently and said, "These ripples are like regret. They distort the reflection of what is true and keep us from seeing the present clearly." Regret is one of the heaviest weights we carry, a tether that binds us to the past. It stems from the mistakes we wish we could undo, the words we didn't say, or the opportunities we let slip away. Yet, as the monk's observation suggests, regret doesn't change the past. It only obscures the beauty of the present moment. Zen philosophy teaches us that every decision, whether we view it as right or wrong, is a thread in the fabric of our lives, shaping who we are and leading us to this moment. When we cling to regret, we diminish our ability to grow and learn. Forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, becomes the balm that heals these wounds. It allows us to release the weight of what could have been and embrace what is. Without this step, regret becomes a thief, robbing us of our capacity to experience joy and gratitude in the present. I've personally struggled with regret over missed opportunities in my career. For years, I replayed scenarios, wondering how my life could have been different. But as I reflected, I began to see those mistakes as lessons that shaped my resilience and creativity. By forgiving myself, I learned to appreciate the beauty of the path I walked, imperfect but uniquely mine. If regret feels like a stone tied to your foot, try this. Write a letter of forgiveness to yourself. Acknowledge the regrets that linger in your heart, but frame them as lessons. Then, symbolically release them, tear up the letter, burn it, or store it away as a token of closure. In doing so, you free yourself to move forward, unburdened and open to the beauty of the present. 2. Let go of material attachments, discovering simplicity. A seeker, having spent much of his life accumulating wealth and possessions, reached a moment of realization in his twilight years. He began giving away his belongings one by one. When questioned about his actions, he simply said, "The more I own, the less space I have for joy." His words encapsulate a profound truth. The things we cling to often end up owning us. occupying not just physical space but mental and emotional energy. Material attachments create an illusion of permanence and security, but they are fleeting. Zen philosophy reminds us that impermanence is an inherent truth of life. Everything we own, no matter how cherished, will one day be gone. Holding tightly to possessions can prevent us from fully experiencing the present moment and nurturing relationships and personal growth. By releasing the grip of material attachment, we make room for simplicity, clarity, and a deeper appreciation of life's intangible treasures. I recall a retired teacher who embraced this lesson beautifully. As she approached retirement, she decided to downsize her home and donated the majority of her possessions to local charities. At first, the process was emotional. Each item seemed tied to a memory or a sense of identity. However, she soon found that shedding these material ties brought an unexpected liberation. With fewer things to maintain, she had more time and energy to focus on meaningful experiences, like spending quality time with her grandchildren and traveling to places she had long dreamed of. To begin your own journey of letting go, start small. Choose one area of your life, a cluttered wardrobe, an overfilled workspace, or an overloaded schedule, and simplify it. Ask yourself, does this item, task, or commitment add value to my life? If not, release it. The newfound space, both physical and emotional, will open doors to more meaningful and joyful experiences. 3. Let go of grudges, embracing forgiveness. A wise elder once told a parable about a traveler carrying a sack of stones. As the journey progressed, the sack grew heavier, causing the traveler great pain. When asked why he didn't lighten his load, the traveler replied, "These stones represent my grudges. I cannot let them go." The elder gently responded, "If you do not release them, they will break you before the journey's end." Grudges are like that sack of stones. They weigh on our hearts, consuming energy and focus that could be spent on growth and joy. Often, we hold on to resentment because we believe it punishes the one who wronged us. Yet, the truth is that grudges harm only the one who carries them. Forgiveness, then, is not about condoning harm. It is about reclaiming your peace and freeing yourself from the chains of bitterness. I experienced this personally when someone close to me betrayed my trust. For months, I replayed the incident in my mind, feeling anger and hurt with every memory. Eventually, I realized the only person suffering was me. Choosing to forgive wasn't easy, but it was transformative. It wasn't for them, it was for me. Letting go of that resentment felt like setting down a heavy burden I didn't even realize I was still carrying. Forgiveness doesn't happen overnight. Start by reflecting on one grudge you're holding. Imagine it as a stone you place in a sack. Visualize setting the sack down and walking away, feeling lighter with every step. Remind yourself that forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but it allows you to reclaim the present and move forward with a heart unburdened by anger. 4. Let go of comparing yourself to others. A sage once observed, "A tree does not envy another tree. It simply grows according to its nature." This simple truth reminds us that comparison is unnatural. Each of us has our own path, shaped by unique experiences, strengths, and challenges. Yet, in our society, comparison often becomes second nature. We look at others' achievements, possessions, or appearances and measure ourselves against them, often feeling that we fall short. Comparison is a thief. It steals joy and breeds dissatisfaction. In youth, this tendency might push us toward ambition, but in old age, it often robs us of the peace and gratitude we deserve. As we reflect on our lives, it's vital to shift our focus inward and honor the paths we've walked. There is no universal standard for success or happiness. Your journey is as valuable and meaningful as anyone else's. I recall a close friend who constantly compared her career and accomplishments to her peers. She would scroll through social media, feeling inadequate as she saw others celebrating milestones. This habit left her frustrated and disconnected from her own achievements. One day, she decided to step back and focus on her personal passions, such as painting and writing. By immersing herself in activities she loved, she found fulfillment not in measuring up to others, but in rediscovering her own joy and creativity. If you struggle with comparison, try this. Begin a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're proud of or grateful for in your life. Over time, this practice will help you appreciate your own journey and shift your perspective from envy to self-acceptance. Remember, the beauty of your life is found not in how it compares to others, but in how it reflects your true self. 5. Let go of fear of death, embracing impermanence. Students once asked their master how to overcome the fear of death, and he offered a profound insight. Fear comes from clinging to what we cannot keep. Accept impermanence, and death becomes a transition, not an end. These words reflect one of life's most challenging truths. Everything we cherish, our possessions, relationships, and even our bodies, is impermanent. Yet, rather than a source of despair, this understanding can be a gateway to peace. Death, like birth, is an integral part of life cycle, just as a tree sheds its leaves in autumn to prepare for new growth in spring. Life itself flows in rhythms of beginnings and endings. Resisting this natural process only creates anxiety. When we accept death as a transition rather than a conclusion, we free ourselves to live more fully in the present moment, appreciating the beauty of what we have now rather than fearing its eventual loss. I once knew a neighbor who was diagnosed with a terminal illness. At first, she struggled with fear and sadness, but over time, she began to embrace her mortality, finding peace in the knowledge that her life had been meaningful. Instead of dwelling on what she would lose, she turned her attention to cherishing the small, everyday moments, the warmth of the morning sun, the laughter of her grandchildren, and quiet evenings with her family. Her acceptance of impermanence allowed her to live her final days with grace and gratitude. To cultivate this perspective, spend time reflecting on the impermanence present in nature. Observe how leaves fall, how seasons shift, and how the sun rises and sets each day. Meditate on these rhythms as reminders that change is not an ending but a transformation. By embracing life's flow, you can let go of the fear of death and experience the freedom to truly live. 6. Let go of unhealthy relationships. An old hermit, known for his wisdom, once shared a powerful truth. Not everyone who walks with you wishes you well. Some carry storms that will drown your peace. These words remind us that relationships, while vital, are not all equally nourishing. Some connections bring joy, while others drain our energy and cloud our emotional clarity. Recognizing the difference is essential, especially in old age, when our time and energy become precious resources. Toxic relationships, whether with friends, family, or colleagues, often linger because of guilt, obligation, or fear of confrontation. However, holding on to such connections can block the space needed for healthier, more uplifting relationships to thrive. Letting go isn't about anger or resentment. It's about self-preservation and creating room for positivity and peace. I remember a time when I struggled to distance myself from a friendship that had become emotionally draining. This person would often focus on negativity and disregard my boundaries, leaving me feeling depleted after every interaction. For years, I made excuses, fearing the discomfort of ending the connection. But when I finally let go, the relief was immediate. I realized how much lighter and more peaceful my days became when I surrounded myself with people who respected and uplifted me. To assess your relationships, take time to reflect. Ask yourself, does this connection bring joy, support, and mutual respect? If not, consider setting boundaries or gently stepping away. Letting go of unhealthy relationships isn't a loss, it's an act of self-care, creating the space for meaningful connections that nourish your spirit and bring you true fulfillment. 7. Let go of self-doubt, embracing your worth. An elder once shared a profound observation. Self-doubt is a shadow cast by fear. Look within, and you'll see your value. These words hold particular resonance in old age, a time when societal roles often shift, and the measures of success we once clung to may no longer apply. However, this stage of life is not about external validation. It's about recognizing the intrinsic worth that has always been within you. Self-doubt can creep in when we focus on what we've lost, be it physical abilities, professional titles, or opportunities. But your value is not defined by what you achieve. It is rooted in who you are. Embracing your unique journey and the wisdom you've gained allows you to live authentically, free from the insecurities that might have weighed you down in earlier years. I remember a former colleague who struggled with this transition after retiring. She doubted her ability to contribute meaningfully without her professional role. At first, she felt adrift, questioning her purpose. Then, an opportunity arose for her to mentor younger professionals in her field. As she shared her knowledge and experience, she rediscovered her sense of purpose and realized that her value extended far beyond her job title. The impact she made on others reignited her confidence and joy. To let go of self-doubt, start by listing your strengths. Reflect on how these qualities have shaped your journey and consider how they continue to benefit those around you. Whether it's wisdom, kindness, resilience, or creativity, your unique contributions matter. By focusing on your inherent worth, you can move through this stage of life with confidence and a renewed sense of purpose. 8. Let go of expectations. Expect nothing, and you will never be disappointed. A sage once said, this wisdom highlights a simple yet transformative truth. Expectations, especially those we place on others or the future, often lead to unnecessary suffering. When reality doesn't align with our hopes, we feel frustration, sadness, or even resentment. By releasing these expectations, we allow ourselves to embrace what is, rather than yearning for what we think should be. Many of us carry expectations shaped by our values, dreams, or even societal pressures. While these intentions may come from a place of love or ambition, they can create tension in our relationships and inner peace. Letting go of these mental constructs opens the door to acceptance and gratitude for the present moment. I think of my aunt, who once expected her children to follow her footsteps into the medical field. She envisioned a legacy of doctors in the family, and when her children chose different paths, one became an artist, the other a teacher. She initially struggled with disappointment. Over time, she realized that her expectations were creating unnecessary strain on their relationships. When she let go of her idealized vision, she began to appreciate the unique journeys her children were carving for themselves. This shift brought her a newfound joy and a closer connection to her family. To practice letting go of expectations, try incorporating mindfulness into your daily life. When you notice an expectation arising, whether it's about someone's behavior or how a situation should unfold, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, is this serving me or creating tension? Consciously release the expectation, and instead, focus on embracing the moment as it is. This practice cultivates peace, resilience, and a deeper appreciation for the unpredictability of life. 9. Let go of resisting change. A river flows effortlessly, bending and adapting to obstacles in its path. It doesn't resist the rocks or twists ahead. Instead, it adjusts and continues its journey. This natural flow mirrors how we can navigate life's inevitable changes. When we resist change, we create friction, leading to stress and discomfort. However, when we embrace it, we unlock freedom, growth, and a deeper sense of harmony with the world. Change, especially in old age, can feel daunting. The routines and identities we've built over decades may shift or dissolve, leaving us unsure of who we are or what comes next. Yet, these transitions offer opportunities to discover new facets of ourselves and our lives. By flowing with the current instead of fighting against it, we open ourselves to unexpected joy and fulfillment. I once knew a retiree who initially struggled with the loss of his professional identity. Work had been his primary source of purpose and structure, and without it, he felt adrift. But instead of dwelling in resistance, he decided to explore new avenues. He began volunteering at a local library, sharing his love for books, and picked up painting, a hobby he hadn't touched since his youth. These activities not only filled his days, but also brought him a renewed sense of purpose and happiness. To navigate change, start by viewing it as an opportunity rather than a loss. Reflect on past transitions in your life, times when unexpected changes led to growth or new experiences. Trust that this process will guide you forward. Embracing change doesn't mean abandoning the past. It means allowing life to unfold naturally, finding beauty and possibility in each new chapter. As the golden years unfold, life offers us one of its most profound lessons. What truly matters is not how much we accumulate, but how much we release. In a world where holding on often feels safer, letting go can be an act of courage and wisdom. Yet, it is through this act of release, letting go of regret, fear, attachments, and expectations, that we create space for joy, gratitude, and peace to enter our lives. Imagine yourself walking a path through a peaceful forest. Along the way, you carry a heavy backpack filled with regrets, grudges, fears, and unnecessary burdens. Each step grows harder, your shoulders ache, and the weight pulls you down. Then, one by one, you begin to remove these items, placing them gently on the ground. With each release, you feel lighter, your steps quicken, and your eyes are free to take in the beauty of the forest around you. This is the gift of letting go, the freedom to live fully, unburdened by the weight of the past, and open to the present moment. Letting go is not about loss. It is about discovering the essence of who you are beneath the layers of what you no longer need. It's about embracing life as it is, with its impermanence and constant flow, and finding the strength to adapt and grow. It's a journey inward, toward clarity, simplicity, and authenticity. So, I invite you to reflect. What will you choose to release today to create a more peaceful tomorrow? Perhaps it's a regret that lingers, a fear that holds you back, or an expectation that causes friction. Whatever it may be, trust that by letting it go, you are not losing but gaining the freedom to step into a lighter, more fulfilling life. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery and transformation. If these insights resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your reflections in the comments below. Together, let's continue exploring the beauty of life and the power of letting go. Until next time, take care and live with peace.